has really good offensive zone time. Colorado is another team that does tend to keep it in the offensive zone. When you guys are playing your best offensive zone game to counteract a team with a good offensive zone game, what's going well for the Devils?
It's getting pucks out of our zone quick. Our breakouts are clean. We're getting through the neutral zone at a good success rate, and we're hounding pucks. I think that's one thing. A lot of shot volume in the O zone, and then recoveries off that, and then just making smart decisions with the puck.
When it comes to just building consistency, that's something we've heard with this team. What are you seeing what areas are you seeing that are more consistent with this Devils team in this last stretch of games?
It's decision making, right? It's kind of the things I just said too. It's getting through neutral zone, and I think you see when we're not, getting through that way. We're kind of on our heels a little bit, and just maintaining our structure throughout the whole entire process is obviously a pretty big component. And I don't know if it's been our most consistent thing here lately, but you have ebbs and flows in the season with it, and we got a great team and a good challenger tonight.
Yeah, and speaking of Colorado, what are some of the things that you guys are just being mindful of to match with your own game again?
Yeah, you have two of the most dynamic players in the league, and three if you include Makar on the back end there. They're three incredible players that you just have to be aware of, and everyone's going to get a chance to go out against them at some point in time. So maintaining our structure and staying with it and trying to do our best to slow them down. They're fast, and you try your absolute best. You're not going to do it every single game. It's kind of like McDavid out there. He's going to get his chances, but you got to eliminate them as much as you can.
Your line has really brought a lot of heaviness to the puck. You and Timo are fighting down low, especially this last game that we had here at home. What are you liking out of the dynamic and the chemistry that's grown with you guys to be able to bring that element?
Yeah, Timo and I, similar styles in the sense of the heaviness and the power forward, and he's got a tremendous amount of skill, and I'm happy that he got that one last game. He's been really needing to get one lately. So and Nico brings the stability to our line, the defensive responsibility, and we're just trying to do our part out there. It takes the whole team in order for us to win games. It's not just us, and whenever we're on the ice, it's just about winning your shift and trying to move on and set your next line mates up out there.
Thank you. During line rushes, we saw you move over to center. I know you say that it doesn't matter which position you play, but when you are playing center, what are some of the things you're going to be mindful of tonight just to make sure that you're in the right assignments and everything?
Yeah, just pay attention to details a lot. I don't want to make sure I put myself in a situation where I'm not sure when to go and not to go. So I think that's always a good thing, just keep my head up in those D-zone scenarios. But big thing is just make sure I keep my feet moving, support the puck, and I always try to give my teammates an option when we have it.
How do you think your shift to center could just help this Tatar Hollow line?
Anything, maybe a small change can shake it up a bit. So we're looking to have a different approach to it, and we'll hopefully for the benefit of the positive there now.
Colorado's a team that really spends sustained time in the offensive zone. They have really good scorers. Their defense gets involved. So when you're facing a team like that, one way you can counter is with your own offensive zone time. How will you all use that knowledge of Colorado's game to fuel your own game?
Yeah, definitely. They're in on the rush, and they play a lot of offense there. So whenever we know it's good defense, and when we get that puck, we want to make sure that we can counter and maybe create some odd man chances. And then if we don't, we want to make sure that we hold on to the puck and make some plays.
Have you learned any tips or tricks in the faceoff circle from Eric?
Well, we've been practicing that for a while now over the years, and then I know I haven't taken much lately, but there's definitely pointers and reasons that we've all learned from previous players and players that I've been with now, so it's been good.
Now that you have been in the league for quite a bit of time, what are some of the things that you have learned about what it takes to be a strong center or a strong face-off person in this league that maybe you didn't know in that first 1 or 2 seasons?
Yeah, definitely. I think the strength part is the big thing, just over the years and getting stronger, and definitely knowing when to, maybe cheat a little bit and when not to, and then when to use your foot, and just little things. We look at video before the game too on the other team, so we check out their face-up guys. So I think just dialing it in on that tonight, and hopefully, I'll try my best out there, try to win as many as I can, and if not, we'll get back to work and practice again furthermore.
Perfect. Team that spends time in the offensive zone, they have plenty of scoring threats. What are you seeing about their game that will make them a difficult opponent tonight?
Well, all the things that you mentioned and the obvious things, there's just so much pace and offensive skill and creativity throughout their lineup. Of course, not just their exceptional players, but as a team they play real quick. They attack your net really well with numbers. So yeah, we're going to be stressed lots defensively here today. So it's going to be one of these games where every detail of your game with and without the puck has got to be buttoned up.
Have you seen that attention to detail from your team recently?
Quite honestly, no, I haven't. I think we've slept a lot in that regard, so we really got to be a lot better in that area tonight.
Where that's obviously where you want to see improvement. But going back to the game against Seattle, where you had to grind one out a little bit, you killed that last power play, et cetera, and you addressed it a little bit after the game. But why is that important for a team to win hard games? What lessons are learned there?
Well, you got to learn how to win and how to do it consistently, how to close out games. There's things that you got to feel out and rep out a little bit. We can practice things, you can talk about things, but you got to be able to do it consistently. And as a coach, for me, in those moments, I'm trying to figure out who are the guys I want out there, and who can I trust, and who's going to get the job done, and who needs more coaching, and all these kind of things. So you find out a lot about your team. Unfortunately, we've been in those positions to close out games a lot, and as I've said to our team right from our first games in Prague, we expect to be in positions to close out games in the third period. We need to get really good at it, and we've found ways to do it. I think we'll continue to get better as we chug along the regular season.
Dawson has got a long way to go still. Dawson Mercer slid over a little center work. Will we see him there today, and what is the rationale behind that move?
We'll see him a little bit there today. Yeah, we're going to change that up a little bit, but you'll still see Hall in the middle as well at different times, face-offs and things like that. So we just want to change it up a little bit. We wanted to get Mercer some looks in the middle of the ice. He's done that here previously, but not in my time and not in recent years consistently. But we want to just see what that looks like. See if getting him in the middle of the ice can help that group and help them get through the neutral zone and stuff like that. So we'll give that a look and see if it can kind of spark something there in that group. I mixed it up a little bit the other night in terms of the lines themselves, but put those guys back together to start here today. Hope individually they can play better, and then with maybe just a little mix-up in the positions, that can help as well.
Nate Bastian's practiced now for a while, skated with the team. What's his status?
Obviously, being cleared for full participation in practice is an encouraging step. I think as we get into next week, he'll start to have conversations with the doctors to see exactly where he's at in terms of being game ready, but not quite there yet.
I talked with Jack in the post game, and he says he's making a more conscious effort to just shoot the puck more often and from all areas of the O zone. Is that something you're also noticing from his game, and is that conversations you maybe have had with him, because he's been on fire the past handful of games? Yeah,
he's feeling it offensively, and in some cases that's part of it, right? The more you feel like you got more stuff happening to the net, it helps your confidence. And the important thing is when he shot the puck, he's been able to get it back. We've talked at different times, like he's sometimes shooting from real bad angles and stuff, trying to catch goalies off guard. In some cases that can be good. In some cases that can result in the puck going the other way. I think he's picked his spots better that way and has gotten the puck back, stayed on it if it doesn't go our way. But I do want him attacking. And I think as we get better net front presence, which we have in recent games, that helps a guy like Jack to feel confident to be able to put the puck towards the net, and it may find its way in for us. So, with how he's played offensively, whatever Jack's feeling, Jack can do, as long as he's not sacrificing the defensive side and sabotaging our game going the other way defensively.
It's easy to focus on Jack and Bratt with all the points that they've accumulated over the last stretch of games, but it's a three-man line, Andre Palat being a big contributor to that line. What are you liking out of his efforts to be able to create more offense on that line?
I think he just does his part. I think there was a few plays made in the neutral zone the other night were great examples to me, where he gets the puck into their hands in difficult situations where a lot of guys, maybe in that case, they just simplify it and get it deep, and there's certainly a time for that, and more often than not, that is the available play in the NHL. But when there's a window of opportunity to make a play, and those guys have the puck, or have speed, in the middle of the ice, they got to get the puck. So he has the ability to do that while also just having a lot of grind and work ethic to his game, forechecking, going to the net, getting the puck out on the wall and the breakout, D-zone coverage responsibilities, so he does a lot of things to complement those guys and allow those guys to be who they are.
It's your first season in Jersey, so obviously your first season with Nico Hischier as a captain. Now that you know him a little bit better, how can you describe Nico as a captain?
I would say he's just very diligent, very businesslike, very aware of his teammates and what's going on around him, but just also no ego. He allows others to be who they are and have their personality, and the guys who complement him well, because I think I don't think there's any captain out there, at least none that I've had, that checks every single box. There's different types of leaders. Some by example, some are social leaders, some are vocal, some are not. So we have a good complement of guys, and he's been very accepting, especially of the newer guys that have come in here. He's really embraced those guys, learned a lot, I think, from them. He's leaned on them, but also doesn't change who he is. And, he's got something to say, he says it. And if he wants to communicate with me, he does. But he's also allowed all the other assets that we have on the leadership side of it to step up as well.
Who's your goalie tonight?
Jake Allen.
Thanks.
Thank you, gentlemen.